In 40 Guns, framing is a crucial element that helps the story be told in a way that helps the audience focus on the main image on the screen. It allows moments to feel more intimate and works in a way that helps the audience focus on the scene playing on the screen. This video essay will focus on the patterns used in 40 Guns in regards to framing in order to have a better understanding on how framing impacts the scene and how it makes it easier for the audience to focus on what matters in a specific moment. For instance, David Bordwell mentions how one part of a director's job is to direct our attention, and so style will often function simply perceptually, to get us to notice things, to emphasize one thing over another, to clarify, intensify, or complicate our understanding of the action. This quote is important because it explains how the use of framing is used throughout 40 Guns in regards to the director focusing the audience's attention to something specific. For example, it's similar to this shot in the sense that the audience is given the chance to solely focus on the character on the screen. This is the big confrontational scene between Griff and Brocky and is a clear example as to how the framing is being shaped in the scene. For example, every time Griff shows up in the medium shot, the rule of third grid shows him centered on the screen. The same with his walking track, and the same with the close-up of his eyes. Even Brocky is centered in the frame, showing how the pattern of the rule of thirds can intensify a scene like a shootout. But then Griff wins and punches Brocky, knocking him out of the frame, thus leaving Griff in the main focus of the rule of thirds grid line. This is done to intensify the scene and to show Griff has fearlessly won the battle. That's why the style of framing is important, because it can tell the audience a lot about the moment in the scene in regards to the power of a character or how the framing is enhancing the scene. It's because of the director's choices that allow the audience to have the response they have when it comes to the content of the scene. Like Bordwell mentioned, there are ways that directors can direct a scene in order to get us to notice something. And in this clip, the audience is starting to see the unsettling demeanor of Brocky's character. The framing of this scene focuses on Brocky as he's making violent attacks on the female character in this scene. This pattern of using framing to focus on the characters in 40 Guns is present in this clip because it's working in a way that lets the audience know that Brocky is the bad guy. He is the main focus of the frame, and he is the main villain in the film. Griff is the good guy, always shown standing tall and proud. But back to Brocky, and well, he's the one lying on the ground. He may be in the main frame of the scene, but the shot itself represents his childish demeanor by showing him helpless on the floor. The effects of framing works differently for these characters, but each fulfill their duty in letting the audience know who is good and who is bad. That's how the director gets the audience's attention to certain points in the scene. They direct the audience so that they know who is who and how the characters play a role in the film. Framing enhances the scene in moments of sadness, moments of happiness, and moments of intensity. The use of the rule of thirds is used consistently throughout 40 Guns. The purpose of this is to help the director guide the audience throughout the story in 40 Guns so that there is no confusion as to who's who or where the audience should be looking. The effective framing helps tell the story of 40 Guns in a way that brings the story together. It makes it easy for the audience to understand what is happening without wondering where they need to look on the screen. It's the stylistic element of framing that helps the director tell the story in a way that makes 40 Guns the easy-on-the-eyes film it is today.